Well, hello. I'm back finally. I am almost moved out of my apartment. I have just a tad bit to do, maybe like 5 or 7 boxes. I spent the night in my car last night and it wasn't bad at all. I was, of course, in the back seat. I have, I think, a 6 or 8 inch foam. I laid on it. I put towels underneath it where the seat belts are because it indents, and that was more comfortable. And I brought my down blanket and another fuzzy blanket, and I forgot my heating pad for my warmth. And so it wasn't that bad. It went down to like 35 or something. I was cold, but I wasn't freezing. And I was able to snuggle up and go back to sleep a few times. So it wasn't that bad. But I will have my heating pad tonight for sure. I have been through a lot these last few days. It's been pretty bad. I am not one to sit idle and watch other people do the work that I should be doing. So I did a little bit of moving with my daughter and her dad. Not a lot. I didn't lift heavy things or anything. I got light things and went up and downstairs just a few times. I just felt like I needed to help. I had everything packed, but I just felt like I needed to help. I got my storage and got my UPS box started. I think I'll put that in my link below in the description or something. I don't have that much more to go. And I want to say, the night before I was in my car, I have mentioned this several times about the ETs waking me up coughing. And I'm thinking that I know what's going on is I think that I stopped breathing at night. And I think they start my breathing. And I say this because I always see a tube-like thing leaving my face. And I say that also because last night they had gave me, oh, let me back up. I'll say this first so I won't forget. I went to the ER last night and they gave me a pain shot of Dilaudid. And then when I got in my car to go to sleep, I took my sleeping pills and a gabapentin, which I always take for restless leg and such, and nerve pain. And there were a couple of times where I woke up and my throat was closed. It was literally closed. I could feel it pinched together. And I remember waking up and pulling my head back because I knew I couldn't breathe. So I pulled my head back just so I could inhale. And I've done that a few times lately. And I'm like, I wonder if I'm not breathing all the time and they're there to start my breathing. I want to say that I totally believe that 100%. I hate saying things like that because I'm like, what if I'm wrong? I gotta stop doubting myself. I really do. I know certain things happen, and for me to sit and say, maybe I'm just losing my mind. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I'm just making this up. No, I'm not. These things happen in order for me to know what's going on. It would be hard for me to make something up like, I'll just throw this out there. The film with geometric shapes coming to me, and when I touch it, it's kind of crunchy. It'd be kind of hard to make that up. I'm not the type of person that is able to make things up in detail like that. Now, I could say, well, there was a tornado in my room last night and everybody was sucked up in it. That kind of thing, you know, I can make up. But for the shapes and the colors in the shapes and the way it feels, that kind of detail, I think for me, it would be very hard to make up. So back on the topic of getting a pain shot. About 4 days ago, I noticed that I was running a low-grade fever. Now, I don't know if it's because of the moving and I was exhausting myself, but at that time I was just packing and I was busy a lot. And so I don't know if it was because my body was saying, hey, you got to slow down. I am busy trying to heal your hip and you're overworking yourself. I don't know if that was my body's way of saying something, but at the same time I felt that I was running the low-grade fever, I took it a couple of times, my temperature. And it was almost 100, but it felt like I was just burning up. But I happened to look down at my leg. I don't look down at my legs often when I'm on the toilet. I guess there's just no reason. And not only that, my freaking boobs is too big. Because when I look down, all I see is boobs. So I have to mash it and look down. Sorry if that's TMI. But something told me to look at my leg. And I mashed my boob and looked down there. And I had red streaks everywhere. Not solid red streaks, which is usually an indication of infection. But my body works differently than most. Even my appendix was high, almost near my rib cage, instead of down low behind your pelvic area where it should be. But anyway, I'm thinking, what if that is infection? It was curved. The red lines were curved and spotted. And about that big, not that big around, but all in the area about that big was all of this redness. It wasn't hot. And I was only running the low-grade fever in that. And I was thinking, I'm a medical assistant. So I was thinking, maybe I need to go to the ER, because if I keep waiting, it's going to get worse. And one morning I'm going to wake up and it's going to be horrible. And I didn't want it to go that far. So I went to the ER. They took blood work. He said no infection, but he put me on antibiotics anyway, just in case. And so that's what I'm doing. Yesterday was Christmas Eve, so they gave me the pills there to last until tomorrow. But I will say, I didn't use my cane a lot since I've been packing and moving. And then yesterday I was paying for it big time. My left obliques, I know I've commented before on this, it was so bad that when I tried to lift something, it would cramp up and I had to sit down. Moving too much, my oblique would cramp up. But during that, my hip was screaming in pain. It was horrible. So finally, I'm like, I need to go to the ER. I've got to do something. I'm afraid that I overdone it, and I hope to God I didn't do any damage. I really hope I didn't do any damage, because I wouldn't know if I talked to the surgeon about it and said I think I overdone it and damaged it, if I could redo the surgery, or if he would say, well, the surgery didn't work, so I'm not going to operate again. I don't know. I think the only way around that is I would have to get another MRI on it to see if there is damage to have another surgery. I don't know. I just don't know. You can see a couple of things in my car. My passenger seat is full. I need to come up with better organization. I have a organizer that has 4 drawers, and it's pretty small, but I need to get a couple. Well, I got another one I'll pick up tomorrow. And I have the square cubes, the cloth kind. I got 2 of those in my front seat. It's really packed, but I am still learning this, and I will get more organized as time goes. And once I get organized, I will show you everything that I have organized. I know in my last video with you, I had stated that I didn't feel Ezekiel. And I feel that Ezekiel, which is my soulmate for those who don't know, I feel that he had left. Not permanently, he had something to do. And I asked Giuseppe about it, and he said Ezekiel was at Sirius, which is a good place to be. I think I said that in my last video. But I remember thinking, no, I was talking to you guys. And I was saying that, I think Ezekiel's gone, blah, blah, blah. And then this long-haired, dark-haired guy came into my vision. He was angelic. I just know he was. Ezekiel being angelic himself, seraphim as I am. I feel that if he had to trade with somebody, it would be somebody of equal stature. Is that the right word? He came back. And the other day, before I started moving, I was thinking about him being gone. I was kind of sad about it because I felt a emptiness, which is so weird. I knew I was still protected, but it wasn't by him, and I knew that. But I was on my couch, and I'm thinking about this and kind of getting sad, and all of a sudden, in my head, I heard a soft male voice saying, "My girl." And I had tears come in my eyes. And that's when I knew he was back. And then I started feeling him being there again. He's still here. But at that moment, I realized he's got a nickname for me, a pet name, my girl. And that really teared me up. And I felt so much love. I still do. It's even talking about him, it's increasing. And that's so funny how things work. You could talk about a specific soul, and they'll come to you immediately, and you'll feel them. And then their vibrations will become stronger and stronger because you're aware. I feel that was channeled to you, not me. I would never have put it that way. I would just say you'd feel them stronger by the minute. But we all have vibrations and energy. And I hope you guys are not paying attention to my hair. I didn't straighten it today. I've been so out of it, trying to move and mentally handle all of this. I do feel still it's a good move. I did take Mouse to the previous owner, and she's going to keep her until I can get me a place. But I will tell you that my heart is broke. It's really broke because I do miss her. I feel like we've bonded, her and I. When I took her back, it was pretty sad. I had her in a carrier, and the previous owner opened it up for her to get out, and when she got out, she took off under the bed. And that made me sad. To see her scared like that again, it made me so sad. But yesterday, she said that more or less she was coming out walking around. And I feel like I've traumatized her once again, not by me, but she's been traumatized so many times that I feel like, now look what I did. That's how I feel. And I don't like that feeling at all. So I'm going to try to hurry up and get her back as soon as possible. So my dear star family, yes, you're my star family, I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to send each and every one of you love, light, and peace. Bye.